Like, and that's what happens when you spend that time and you push your mind that far and you just consume it.
CNN has just exposed Jada Pinkett Smith for being Diddy's helper. In 2024, the whirlwind year has swept up several industry figures in a storm of scandal, with more revelations looming. Among them, Diddy finds himself submerged in a sea of disturbing allegations, some involving legal entanglements.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Jaden revealed it was Jada who introduced him to psychedelics. Per the outlet, he recalled, "I think it was my mom, actually. That was really the first one to make that step for the family." It was.
I can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Y'all, it looks like Will Smith is officially in damage control mode because the streets are saying he's about to throw Jada Pinkett Smith under the bus, and it all has to do with Diddy's upcoming trial. Now, we all know Will has been fighting for his Hollywood comeback ever since that Oscar slap, but between his messy marriage drama with Jada and all these wild allegations surrounding Diddy, it looks like Will is now scrambling to protect himself before it's too late. So allegedly, Will is terrified that if Diddy starts snitching, it could be the final nail in his coffin. And that's because rumors have been swirling for years that Will and Jada were close with Diddy, not only attending his infamous parties, but also allegedly throwing their own version of freak-offs at their house. Now, we all know Will spent years protecting his image, making sure the world saw him as the clean-cut Hollywood nice guy. But then Jada flipped the script, putting all their business out there, from the entanglement mess to her non-stop Tupac confessions. And just like that, the picture-perfect family image they were projecting for so long came crashing down. So now, with Diddy's legal troubles heating up, Will is allegedly working overtime to distance himself from both Diddy and Jada before any skeletons come flying out of the closet. And let's be real, Will has every reason to be worried because, let's not forget, both he and Jada have been linked to some questionable Hollywood circles for years, from their connection to the Church of Scientology to rumors about recruiting young men for their bizarre house parties. There's been non-stop speculation that the Smiths know a lot more than they're letting on. And if Diddy starts talking, Will could get caught up in the mess, whether he wants to or not. So now the question is, what exactly is Will's plan here? Is he really trying to take down Jada to save himself? Let's get into it.
Yo, am I the only one that saw this? Watch Will. Then he grabs his ass. Will is molesting Alton on television. Titty grab again, then the face, and now he's gonna grab his titty again, then the me too.
The Diddy situation just keeps getting wilder. And now Will and Jada are getting dragged into the mess. Word on the street is that the Smiths allegedly took part in those wild freak-off sessions with Diddy. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's also that whole Scientology talk with folks saying Will and Jada were deep in the mix and even acted as recruiters, pulling in young, impressionable people. So let's start with that Scientology connection. Back in 2008, Will and Jada launched a private elementary school called New Village Leadership Academy, where both Jaden and Willow were students. Will claimed at the time that he and Jada simply wanted to design the system that revolutionizes public education and create an educational environment in which children have fun learning. But the school was quickly shut down after parents found out it had ties to the Church of Scientology. So turns out a bunch of the school's top staff, like the director of learning, the director of qualifications, and the artistic director, were all deep in the Scientology game. On top of that, the school's own website was out here promoting study technology, a teaching method straight from Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. The school quietly shut its doors on June 28, 2013, with no official explanation. But word on the street is that parents started pulling out once they realized the whole thing was laced with Scientology teachings, and the money started drying up. Will and Jada tried to play it off like they were never down with Scientology, but actress Leah Remini, who escaped the church and now works to expose all its shady dealings, put them on blast in her book Troublemaker: Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. Leah claimed that she used to see Jada at the church a lot and even spilled a wild story about a night at Tom Cruise's house with the Smiths when Tom had everyone playing some weird game of hide and seek. At first, I thought he was joking, Leah wrote, but no, he literally wanted to play hide and seek with a bunch of grown-ups in what was probably close to a 7,000 square foot house on almost 3 full acres of secluded land. According to Leah, she refused to take part in the game, but then Tom approached her and said, "Well, Well, good. So you're it then. Leah later doubled down in the interview with the Daily Beast and said that Jada was definitely deep in Scientology at one point. I know Jada's in. She's been in Scientology a long time, Leah said. I never saw Will there, but I saw Jada at the Celebrity Center. They opened up a Scientology school and have since closed it. But Jada, I had seen her at the Scientology Celebrity Center all the time. Now, you might be thinking, what do Will and Jada's Scientology ties have to do with Diddy? Well, according to former celebrity bodyguard Big Homie CC, Diddy allegedly learned the art of blackmail from his Hollywood friends who were deep in Scientology.
What do you think about them accusing Diddy of having cameras in his house so he can record celebrities and politicians and use it as blackmail?
I firmly believe that's true because in that sector of people, a lot of them practice Scientology. And Scientology, that was their thing. They would get people in compromising positions. They'll hold that footage over their head and get them to agree to things. I think he one of them Scientology people, bro. Because that's probably where he got that from. A lot of powerful guys operate like that. So the things I'm seeing with him, it all makes sense.
And then Jaguar Wright joined the chat and started talking about how Scientology is linked to this secret society of Hollywood big shots.
Why didn't they ask Leah Remini? She's a little more credible. But then again, she might have been able to pull some of their cards because a lot of them is involved in that Scientology too. Right into the corner where Biggie was. I was just there. Literally. And that building, it's this big, gaudy, Masonic looking thing. You know, it's all right, architecturally wise. But what gets really interesting about it is when the sun goes down, they turn the lights on, blood red, pure blood red. The whole building glows in pure blood red. I don't know, man. It just feels disturbing to me. You put this thing up that looks like some kind of Masonic monument where Biggie Smalls was to that. And at night, you thought that the color should be blood red. I don't know.
You spoke about Scientology.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with anything with the Illuminati, or is that just separate entity?
They're separate entities, but they work in tandem.
Right.
They spy on each other's people for each other.
Right.
You know, if they don't want to make it look like they're stalking one of their, defectees, they'll ask somebody from TMZ to do it for them. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, allegedly. Harvey. They farm it out, make it seem like it's just paparazzi stuff when they're actually doing investigation. And Scientologists, they're relentless. A lot of people farm out their gaslighting work to them for a profit. That's LA.
But Jaguar didn't stop there. She also threw some shade at the Smiths, hinting that Will and Jada might have done something bad to their own kids.
Like the Willow conversation, the Smith family conversation that we had.
In your face.
In your face.
Like, put out in your face.
I mean, there's multiple videos of this man forcibly trying to tongue kiss his son. On some Dalai Lama shit, suck my tongue.
Now, these rumors about Jaden and Willow have been around for years, but no one really paid them any mind until now. To give you just one example, back in 2014, when Willow was just 13, Will and Jada let her do a photo shoot with Hannah Montana star Moses Arias, who was 20 at the time. In one of the photos, Willow is seen lying in bed facing the camera while Moises is sitting there shirtless, leaning against the wall. These photos definitely raised some eyebrows, but it kind of got brushed under the rug, and Moises deleted the photos pretty quickly after fans started dragging Will and Jada. But Jada later defended the photo shoot and said that people who think there's something creepy about it are just projecting. Jada told TMZ, "You guys are projecting your trash onto it, and you're acting like covert PDF files, and that's not cool." But fans weren't buying Jada's excuse, and they called her out for gaslighting, saying there was nothing innocent about those photos. But it wasn't just fans who thought the pictures were off. Radar Online reported that the controversy got so big that Child Protective services stepped in and allegedly questioned everyone involved in the photo shoot. One insider told Radar Online that social workers wanted to talk to Willow's friend Moises about the photos, which depicts them on the same bed together. The source also added that although there had been no allegations of any wrongdoing or illegal activity by Moises, Willow had been questioned twice, along with her parents, Will and Jada. Now, as far as Jaden, he's been attached to some weird rumors too, especially after those creepy videos started popping up of Will forcefully kissing Jaden on the lips.
Oh, yeah. You know I love him, Ellen. I love him.
Sometimes teenagers can get annoyed with their parents. Do you find that you sometimes get annoyed with him?
I mean, sometimes when he's trying to kiss me in public, because that's something that he tries to
I'm not going to do that here today. I'm not going to do it.
He tries to kiss me on the mouth all the time.
I just think it's an important thing for kids to feel loved. Do you feel loved when I try to kiss you on your mouth?
No, that's probably the last thing that comes across my mind.
But here's where things get messy with the Smiths and Diddy's freak-off rumors. So you know how Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal has been out here spilling all the tea about Diddy's DL lifestyle? Well, in one of those interviews, Gene hinted that Will and Jada were swingers, and one time they allegedly tried to recruit J-Lo for their parties. But J-Lo was dating Diddy at the time, and according to Gene, Diddy tried to fight Will after he and Jada made a move on J-Lo. And get this, just 2 weeks before Cassie filed her lawsuit back in November 2023 and exposed Diddy's freak-offs, Diddy was on Jimmy Kimmel's talk show, and Kimmel asked him about Gene Deal's allegations and that Will and J-Lo story. Well, let's just say the whole thing was awkward as hell, and Diddy literally looked like he was about to pull his strap out on Jimmy.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this?
Now, the reason this interview had people talking is because it seemed like Kimmel either went off script or low-key set Diddy up, knowing Cassie's lawsuit was about to drop. After all, we all know those late-night shows are usually scripted, and all the questions are vetted by the publicists beforehand. So it's hard to believe that Diddy was cool with Kimmel tossing that question his way. Plus, Gene Deal has been spilling Diddy's tea for years, so it's interesting that Jimmy suddenly decided to bring him up right before Cassie's lawsuit went public. As for Will and Jada, there's a growing speculation that they took part in Diddy's freak-offs, and now sources close to Will are saying he's straight up freaking out. See, Will has been working overtime to save his career after that Oscar slap, and the last thing he needs is Diddy out here spilling all the tea. But get this, sources close to Will are saying that he's so desperate to make a comeback and distance himself from the Diddy drama that he's seriously considering throwing Jada under the bus. Apparently, Will is thinking of flipping the script, portraying himself as the victim, and blaming everything on Jada. But fans are skeptical that this will work because after everything we've seen from Will, the Oscar slap, the marriage drama, and the bizarre behavior around Jaden, it's hard for people to believe that Mr. Nice Guy image will ever come back. But what's your take on this? Do you think Will can actually come back from this, or is his reputation just too far gone? Do you think throwing Jada under the bus is his only shot? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And then check out this next video.